Well, first of all, congratulations on 30 years.
Thank you, appreciate it.
But it's been quite a journey, and I think the most interesting things have been happening in the last 10 years or so, especially this managed captive model that we've been executing for customers. But I mean, just curious as to how the whole thing came about. What is the genesis of the whole thing?
Well, it's an interesting story actually. What happened was, we started this whole sourcing advisory kind of thing, right? So when we started the sourcing advisory piece, what we had started doing initially was finding large outsourcing companies for our US customers, where they could outsource to. When the deal sizes were, 300 people, 400 people kind of situations.
Yeah.
So we had done a multiple of those. And then for one of our large footwear retailers, what happened was the CIO there, he was saying, I need to find a nimble vendor.
Okay.
Because what he was finding was these big boys started taking them, not for granted totally, but started feeling they could get away with pretty much anything. So he wanted somebody to keep them on their toes. So for which, he said, let's find a tier 2 or a tier 3 vendor who would do that for him.
Right.
So we actually went about and found a tier 2, tier 3 vendor. I yet remember very clearly, we were sitting at Fisherman's Cove in Chennai, kind of saying, now what do? We got we had a beer and sitting there, and we started doing the math.
Right.
That okay, great, I've got this vendor. Let's look at it. Does it make sense? But then when they started comparing the transition costs from the big boys to them, and the rate card, the math was just not working out. Just a thought which went through my head that time was the best way to do something, the cheapest way and the most efficient way of doing something is running your own team.
Right, absolutely.
If you imagine setting up your own team
But that's hard.
It is, and that's where the whole problem came up. So, which is exactly what the CIO said. He said, Nikunj, great, it's good to do that, but I don't want to set up 400 people. I don't want to have my own HR. I don't want to worry about the logistics and the statutory requirements, all that kind of stuff. So which I say, hey, what happens if I run it for you? You trust me enough to help you find a vendor, then trust me enough to help run this for you, manage this entire piece for you. Right? We say, okay, we'll work on a transparent basis. Right. We'll help you hire, we'll help you manage. Day-to-day delivery, you guys handle. We'll run it for you, and it works on a pure cost-plus model.
Right. No, plus, they get the transparency and the control.
They get transparency, right? They get control, and they get a major amount of, they get to even know who they're hiring, who they are.
So that gives them a lot of leverage.
They choose who they want.
Right, right.
Because they are as good as your employees, right. The customer's employees sitting in our offices. That's all it was. I wish I'd kept that napkin where we did the math and framed it as this is how the genesis of the thing. But it was actually a back of the envelope, back of a napkin kind of calculation which we did and went by. So I think it was different.
Right.
It was a bold decision to do this because it kind of cannibalized part of our business is what we thought.
Yeah.
But actually I think in the long run it worked out well because we got customers who we would normally never service.
True.
Since we've evolved, started the model and kind of stabilized it in the first 3 years, the last 5 years has seen a lot of growth in this area for us.
Yeah.
And I know you've been doing a lot of different things in different areas. So what are the new things you've been working on?
Well, what has evolved is they love our processes.
Okay.
The customers love our processes. The customers love the way we make sure the people sort of become theirs. And at the same time, we give them a home where the employees feel that they're part of an IT company. So it becomes a tri-party win-win-win. In these large organizations, often they hit a glass ceiling really fast. Over here, they have the ability to be a difference maker, and they're doing it directly with the customer. Hence, the impact that comes out of it and the personal satisfaction that one gains out of doing something for the customer directly. And remember, the whole idea of this model is you're part of the customer's direct team. It's not that you're part of, yes, while Systems Plus gives you the platform, you are part of the customer team. Here, everybody on their own saying, no, We are going to make it go live. We are going to make it go live. This is our product. This is our company. That
sense of belonging is intense.
Belonging, commitment, and feeling as though I have contributed to making something work versus the part of a project.
What are the big areas which you're finding today where customers want us to use this as an option?
See, so the beauty of this model is that you can pretty much do anything, right? You can do non-IT things as well, but we are an IT company. We know how to do IT well, and that's we don't lie to our customers. Right? If the customer wants to set something up, we will work with them, right? As you know, we've always been very entrepreneurial from that perspective. We've set up so many different things and we've transferred things to other customers. We do that. We're fine with that, right? We also learn in the process, so we're happy. That's the value add that we provide to the customers. But fundamentally, if it's anything IT related, right? Because we understand IT, we understand sort of the IT mindset and how to develop things, new ideas within IT. Today, we've set up teams in security. So we were running SOC organizations for customers. We're running NOC organizations for customers. High-end infrastructure organizations for customers. Artificial intelligence to a certain extent for customers.
Okay.
We're doing, on the retail side, we're doing a lot of things like on the PLM side, X-Store side, then we're doing FMS.
FMS you mentioned. Right.
We're doing APG. I mean, we run the gamut. We have the flexibility.
So now it's no longer what I'm hearing, which is very, very gratifying. It is no longer just more of a support service.
Absolutely not.
We now seem to be doing more implementation and...
So you won't believe it, we're doing product development in an agile method, using agile methodology, right, for customers. It's not only a support model. The point is, think of it this way, a customer has something to deliver. And if I, the customer, can run my team the way I want it to, today my most important agenda is to deliver the product, I'll do it. In fact, a lot of the product companies, they have started looking at this model a lot. And I'll tell you why, right?
Okay.
It's a great way for me to do a quick start. I can even 3 people, 2 developers, 1 tester, right? Quick start, they come to us. We've also adapted from that perspective, right? Usually you start from scratch, you build up the team from scratch, but if you're typically if you're in the Java or the PHP or the .NET space, we have those skills, first of all, within our larger organization. So we can pull the people in real quick, right? Get the model going extremely fast, while they hire, quote unquote, the perfect fit person, right? And it allows them
a quick start option.
Quick start allows them to test the model. That's the first thing. Allows them to see whether it works or not. And what this does is protects their IP. That's the most important thing today, right?
That's actually very important. So for product companies, it's a great option.
It's a great option. I mean, we've seen that. We've seen that. While we've been doing a lot of work with retailers and we've been doing a lot of work with restaurant chains, etc. We've been seeing, especially these new product companies coming through, especially startups, where IP is the most important thing for them, right? What they want to do is they want to make sure that it protects and it's protected within a small community. And in this model, what are we very clear about, right? What are we very transparent about? We don't shift people between projects.
Right.
It is meant to be a long-term model.
Right. I've been keeping on reading. The whole world of IT is changing, and especially the last few years, a lot of stuff is happening. Where we are kind of now moving into products-based services. Pure dev services is kind of now dying down. Custom software is kind of going away. So how is our model keeping in touch with this? And what are you all doing different nowadays to make sure that the headache of delivery, the responsibility of delivery is not only becoming the customer's responsibility? Is there something which you're doing different now?
I've been seeing one thing that we feel will add further value to the customer is how do we give them an option to either start this really fast.
So quick start, you mentioned.
Quick start, right? Or the second thing is, how do we make it easier for them to deliver from offshore, right? I mean, in the end, the captive is always yours. But what we do is, we say that we can bring this on because we have a lot of experience in delivery, right? In the end, we're a software company.
Okay. So you're giving them process in a way upfront,
right?
So they don't have to worry about that doing all that.
And they have a single point of contact which they can liaise with from the on-site. from the US or wherever the case my customers are.
So in a way, you've really actually turned offshoring upside down.
We have to be disruptive, right?
Which is fantastic. But the question I have is, when we conceptualize this model, and what we saw for a period of 3 or 4 years from one of the large footwear retailer, was that they were saving about 40% compared to traditional outsourcing.
Right.
With what you're doing, you're adding on a delivery layer, adding on some kind of extra governance, and hence, are we yet going to get that similar arbitrage, or are we, coming more and more towards a typical traditional outsourced managed services model?
That's the thing. Arbitrage yet remains. So if I look at it today, most of our customers are enjoying anywhere between 35 and 45% cost savings compared to the traditional models. But what's so powerful in this is I'm starting to deliver. In effect, from day one, we're trying to anticipate the customer's needs. We're trying to see how we can add further value to the customer, right? Customers look at us for a couple of things. First is market intelligence, which we have been giving them from day one when you conceptualize this model, right? So, okay, you achieve that, and we know how to do that really well. Whether it's in terms of what I would call what the skills are out there, how long it will take to onboard those skills, or what the market is telling us in terms of salary, arbitrage, etc. Now that we have that established really well, the next question that comes up is that, hey, how do I improve my delivery? Or how do I improve my delivery model?
Correct.
In every phase of outsourcing, as you used to call it when you were running it, outsourcing 101. We've gone well past it. How do you get to outsourcing 102?
Correct.
So we're saying managed captive 102.
Interesting. I don't know. I think an interesting journey, because what I love about this is you've actually, the interesting thing to me really is you are willing to say life has to change.
Right.
The cheese is moving on a regular basis, and you're willing to be ahead of the curve. So
absolutely.
I think congratulations on that. And,
no, but see, actually, just one final question I have for you is, what are the key differences you're seeing today as an outsider looking in?
See, I think there are multiple things which are happening now. One of the big things I'm seeing is people are now moving towards more and more product-based delivery. So the traditional custom software delivery, Taj, that is kind of now easing away. Development also now is moving into more of packages plus kind of environment, where people are using a package and adapting. So like SAP FMS would be a great example of where people are moving towards.
Right.
So that's one piece which is already in place. The second piece which I'm starting to see is what we're going to now soon have is customers that are going to actually say, you know what, I want separate teams, different parts of the world. I want global delivery capability, but localized for each area. So this is where I feel this one guy saying I have 500 people in a delivery center in India is going to stop soon. They're going to actually start saying 50 people in India, 50 people in Philippines, 50 people in Poland, 50 people all over, so that they can actually be very reactive to the local environment. And stitching this all together is where I think the challenges are going to be for product companies, for IT services companies. I think, those are the big key directions which I feel are going to start happening. And I think, if we can stay in that direction, that will be awesome. Right? Hey, fantastic. Great. Thanks. And, again, all the very best. Wish this is plus, of course, which is for me as well.
Yes.
A lot of success, but
it's your concept. We'll take it forward.
Fantastic. Thanks. Appreciate it. Cheers.